Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and you're very, very welcome. I'm delighted to see so many people on the call here, from some people from Australia, the USA, the United Kingdom, Belgium, we have Germany, okay, fantastic. Listen, and I see some more popping on there. Please, if I can remind you, would you please mute yourselves when you come on so that we have no interference? I'd really appreciate that. Well, we'll kick it off, and as I'd like to say, first of all, the comments and the view that I make here this evening are solely my personal comments. They do not reflect corporate in any way, and I just want to make sure that they're not construed in any way to be representing corporate. So without further ado, I'd like to, because I'll call this more so an overview, a product overview, and I think we just maybe need to be a little bit more realistic with the product. So again, it's only my point of view, but I'll take it away, and you can decide for yourselves at the end of the training. If you want to share this, by all means do. It will be recorded. I like to always mention to a business or a client, whoever it may be, that this is all made possible because of a change in Google's operating system. It's a very, very nice approach, as opposed to start mentioning Royaltie.com, because people have not heard of Royaltie. Of course, we introduced Royaltie later on, but when you speak to somebody, it grabs their attention once you mention the fact that there's something very exciting I want to show you that's been brought about by a change in Google's operating system. So I just think that's very important to actually show people. And of course, because of that, this is where Royaltie found the opportunity. And again, that's thanks to Justin, which I'll cover a little bit about in a moment. And through that, that's why we find ourselves in the position that we're actually in here today. But like I said, with this overview, I think what we need to do is maybe tone down a little bit the expectations of what the product can actually do. And I'm going to cover as to why I feel that we should do that. Okay, so just a little bit about Justin. He's our CEO, obviously. Bella Baba, that's an unusual name, but I think I got it right. He's a serial entrepreneur in health, finance, and technology. He's got a magna cum laude graduate of Harvard University. He's with a degree in economics. He's a member of the Academic Honor Society Phi Beta Kappa, which is widely recognized and considered as the nation's most prestigious honorary society. So well done, Justin. Also, from 2012 to 2016, before he founded Royaltie, he founded a health clinic called Clenio, which grew to over a chain of 100, and he sold that on to a private equity firm in 2016. Prior to that, Justin serves as Chief Executive Officer and President of HealthScreen Solutions, Inc., and that was from May 8, 2007 to March 4, 2011. He was a recipient of the 2009 C10 100 Awards, which I'll show you on the next page, yes? And he was also voted Global Company that exemplified the highest level of operational and strategic excellence in information technology. And obviously, that's what we're involved in here. And it's great to have somebody with so much experience driving the ship for us. He also was a co-founder of the Medical Telecom Corporation in 2004, which was later acquired by Medical Telecom Corporation. And I did mention to you with relation to the 2009 C10 100 award, these are just the particulars of it. So as you can see, the project description, he was the provider of medical products and services implementing the CRM system, as we know he's just implemented here with us at Royaltie, to extend data access to the entire company. And the system had an end-to-end workflow and mobile capabilities to accommodate a sales force that worked exclusively on Blackberries, as we know, as part of as a phone. The new system resulted in increased data entry efficiency and customizable reporting. But I think why I like to show this is that you can see, obviously, he was the CEO and president of the company. But if you look at the revenue down at the bottom corner, in 2008, $20 million. Now, I think that's some achievement if you look at it compared to we're now in 2017. So I think well done, and it's great to have him behind the wheel, to say the least. Okay. Now, so who is our audience? This is a very valuable slide, and this is something that we need to share with our business, with our clients, and yet be careful at the same time. Our global world market share, if you like, this was by the second quarter of 2016. So as you can see, Android accounted for 86.2%. Now that's quite effective to say the least. And of course, people would say, well, who's got an Android phone? It's more difficult to find somebody with an iPhone than it is with Android. And it's nice just to have that knowledge to be able to share with your customer, okay? Now, I put this slide up here because it's vitally important that we understand Bluetooth and a little bit about it. And on your own time, as I said, this is recorded, do read through it and make notes on it, that you have them handy, you have them in your book, your diary, that you can actually respond to it. But just very briefly, if you see the special interest group, SIG, carried out their annual survey and conducted by research firm Millward Brown, which will be well known in the industry. And they reported that global awareness of Bluetooth technology is at an all-time high, with 85% of consumers recognizing the wireless technology. And this is a big step, a big leap forward. Prior to this, people were very much concerned maybe with Bluetooth. And even to this day, which is actually a myth, that the Bluetooth is killing your battery. In fact, the Bluetooth that's used for our technology and is mostly used with all wearable devices today is BLE tooth. Okay, so it's a very lightweight technology that's actually used, and obviously it goes further as well, and it's less consumable on the battery. So again, about 1%, I think, over 24 hours is what you're looking at by having your Bluetooth on. Again, I'll not go through all of the information. You can read this on your own time. But if you just look to the bottom, Bluetooth awareness has also increased 6% since 2012, from 87% to 92% in 2016, with a 62% of respondents reporting a purchasing preference for Bluetooth-enabled products. And as you can see, it's increased 32% since 2012 to 78% in 2016. It's my understanding that most of the phones coming out today have the Bluetooth enabled, and I'm sure that's the way it's going to continue. This is just an example of some of the gadgets, for a better word, that actually will use Bluetooth. So you can understand why more and more people will have their Bluetooth turned on. So you see there, you have mobile phone, GPS navigation. You have obviously the devices that's used for data, which is getting very common, as I said, to the wearable devices and various medical and health devices. Okay, so it's just to understand that if people are saying to you, if a customer is saying to you, oh, nobody has their Bluetooth on, it's nice just to have this armory in your case if you need it to use, to say to people, well, actually, it's not the situation. It's becoming more and more common. Okay, so how much do the gems cost? Well, I think we know that, but just in case there's new people on the call here, one gem is $25 per month. 2 gems, $49 per month. 3 is $99 per month, and additional gems above 8 can be purchased for $12 per month. And of course, there's a volume discount available on orders of 50 gems or more. So just to throw that up there, as I said, if there is new people here on the call. So how do you program your gems once you receive them? Well, it's very, very simple. You will get an email from the company that will give you your login details. So you go to royaltie.com, you enter your username, which is usually your email, and the password, the login details that they give you. If you look over to the right-hand side, you see the arrow. Under actions, you see the little tick box. If you click on it, okay, what happens is, if you look at down to the very bottom, I've clicked on it there, and you will see that is actually the open link where you can put in your message. The message I have in there, are you getting paid what you're worth, leading then to the link to the YouTube. Now, it's very, very important, folks, that we have, you see it in red at the top, that it's actually linking to a secure site. The good thing about all social media sites are secure. However, there is a link on our private, Royaltie private group that you can actually check to make sure that the link that you're inputting there is secure before you send it to the company for approval. So just bear that in mind. So I want to move into the training, if you like, in more depth, and I want to give reason behind why I want to suggest to you to tone down the product, because otherwise we'll have no problem selling them if we keep the hype. There's too much hype out there. I've seen so many videos pointing to you know, your advert is going to be seen, your notification is going to be seen, on 100% of all Android phones. That is not the case, folks, and this is why I think this training is going to be important. Okay. So what do you do once you receive your gems? Well, the very first thing you do, you will get notification with your gems. It will tell you to contact the office to activate them. So because I've had people ringing me saying, Des, my gems aren't working. I've tried this, I've tried that, and the other, to find out they hadn't actually contacted the company to activate the gems. So that's just, I'm not one about it, but please, the first thing do, contact the company, have your gems activated before you go any further. Programming your gems is the second thing. Now, obviously, I've just shown you in the previous slide how to do that, and it's important that you follow the procedures and make sure that you check on the link provided on our Facebook page that your link is secure before you send it to the company, because otherwise you're going to end up with emails been in and out of the company. And the fact of the matter is, it's so simple. We have a system there to follow. If you check the link and it says your gems are, your link is secure, well, then there's not going to be a problem, and it will reduce the turnaround for yourself and the company. So next thing is how to avoid Google's search bot spamming. Now, and that, look, I cannot emphasize this enough. In the Google algorithms, they have like keywords, if you like, that you would enter into a blog that actually search what they would call Ponzi schemes or negatives. Words like get rich quick, get rich overnight, ground floor opportunity, make $5,000 this week. Stuff that's unrealistic, okay? And if those links have those in it, the chances are Google will not rate those links. And if Google does not rate those links, nobody is going to actually see them. Your notification will not be sent. So the better it is, and obviously, folks, here, my advice to you is not to be changing your links. Just get results from a link. Okay, maybe try it a few times with various messages until you find that you are getting results. But the longer you stay with that, the better rating it will get with Google, and hence the more views it's going to get. So I think it's vitally important that you stick to that. I use a video that I've had close to 1,000 hits on. I use another one that I've had 50,000 hits on. And obviously, I'm getting more traffic to that because it's rated with Google. So just to keep that in mind, be very careful. Put a bit of consideration into it. You know, don't just put anything for this. And again, I've seen some of them where it's, you know, make so much dollars overnight and all this, retire early. You know, just try and be creative. That's all I can say. Just be creative. Now, approaching a business, I always like to lead with the product. I think it's very important because at the end of the day, it is about the product. So if you go into a customer, and again, I actually have a script for this on the Facebook page. If you go into a customer and there's somebody standing behind the counter, are you the boss or are you the proprietor? Say we are. Well, actually, I just want to check you would have got a notification from me in relation to, and let's go back to what? It's a new marketing system that has come available thanks to a change in Google's operating system. And the details, the notification you got, it actually explains that. And of course, you're going to get this blank look on the face and saying, well, how did you get my phone number? And that's the ultimate question you want them to ask you, because you say, well, I didn't get your phone number. We used Bluetooth. And this is exactly why I want to talk to you, how people passing by your business or coming into your business can actually get a notification from you onto their phone without you ever, and of course their Android phone, without you ever having to lift a hand or say a word to them. So pretty impressive. That's my approach. Not to say people don't want to use a different approach, that's fine. But I always lead with the product, and I find when you do, it makes your conversation more interesting, and the willingness for the customer to stand and talk to you a lot easier. Okay. With the presentation, this is what I have to emphasize, folks. When you're presenting this to them, I certainly do not tell them that it's going to reach 100 yards in every direction. This is why I said at the beginning of this training, I think we need to tone down this. I've done my own research. As I said, I'm not speaking on behalf of the company, but I see from with relation to my own research, okay, that It depends on the buildings. It depends on, I know there's a video up there, a gentleman done, he's standing in a field, okay? Well, there's no bricks and mortar in between that. There's no high scrapers, there's no, okay? And again, it depends on the actual strength of the Bluetooth. Now, if you take your own mobile phone, you'll have a good reception in some places and you won't have otherwise. Well, just think of Bluetooth, okay, in the same scenario. So you're not always going to have good strength of Bluetooth. It could be weaker in some areas than others. So what I like to do, as opposed to telling them it's going to reach every Android phone, which is not true anyway, the fact of the matter is, if you think about it, there's certain conditions associated when we speak about the Android phones. Number one is the Android phone. Is it a recent phone from 2015 upwards? Okay. Is it have the location switched on and Bluetooth switched on, which would be a requirement? Okay. We just have to be so careful, because it's like this. There are so many phones out there that will not get the message. Let's be realistic about it. Now, I was responsible for training for River Media, which was 14 newspapers and 8 radio stations. I did all the training across both, okay? And one of the things that the salespeople would come to me and say, Des, I get this question all the time. Yeah, how do we know people are seeing our ad? How do we know people are listening to the radio when our ad is running? And the answer is you don't know. But what I always said to them, listen, at the end of the day, and we had demographics, we had everything we needed to assess that and look at, but we had absolutely no way of checking that. You have to put that back to the customer. And it's important you always mention to a customer, because if you sell gems to the customer and you go back to them in 2 weeks or 3 weeks and they say, well, I have got no business from this whatsoever, what recognized method of monitoring your marketing do you use? What recognized method of monitoring your marketing do you use? Because if they're not using analytics, if they don't have something in their advert that says, please bring this coupon with you when you come in next time, you get 20% off. Well, then they can measure how many people has actually seen their advert. All right. Or please mention the word whatever when you come in. Now they've heard it on the radio station. Okay. But you cannot actually give an actual amount. So what I like to say to business with regards to the gem, let's assume that between 30 and 50%, okay, 30 and 50% of Android users actually get your notification. Now, I'm not saying 100% within 100 yards, because that would not be true. So if you think about it, so if I'm saying to somebody, you're between 30 and 50%, all right, I'm underselling, and if we over deliver, that's absolutely fantastic. Now, it's imperative that I honestly do believe we have to tone down what we are saying, because if we don't, we're going to have an awful lot of disappointed clients, and it's not going to do you personally any good that somebody out there, a business, is saying, well, such and such sold me these things and I got nothing from them. Okay, so please, I suggest to you, tone it down, be realistic, 30 to 50%, because for many reasons, people may not see that the notification, and I just think it's completely, and this is why I put here, overcoming objections. I always like to overcome objections before I get them. So basically what I'm saying to them there is by me saying, look, you know, you will read this on our corporate website, you can check it out yourself. Yes, we suspect, we can say that this will broadcast to within 100 meters or 100 yards of where your gym is located. But however, I want to be realistic and tell you that I honestly believe that for now, that you're looking at between 30 and 50%. So that if you go back in 2 months or a month's time from now, at least you will have told them, okay, firstly, you've told them to have some way of monitoring their marketing, okay, and you've told them that between 30 and 50%. So the chances are that they will be happy, but they'll not be happy if you tell them the alternative, okay, which is 100 yards in every direction and to every Android phone, which is not the situation. So it's underselling and over delivering. And I think that's crucial for all of us. And it's my suggestion to you. I know that's exactly what I will be doing with business. Now, closing the sale is extremely important because, you know, I want to be able to work with that customer, okay? And I mean that. I want to be able to go back to that customer and say to them, so when I'm closing the sale, I say, listen, I'm going to be checking back with you. And we will try different links. We will try different messages so until you get the best results. But the one thing I will insist on is that if the gem is used for proximity marketing, okay? Now, for some businesses, they may never have heard of proximity marketing, you know, and it's okay. If they haven't, it's up to you in a nice way to say, well, listen, are you aware of proximity marketing? Have you heard of it before? Most people don't, okay? And then you're not putting them in. If they have a business and they don't know about proximity marketing, they may feel bad about it, okay? They may feel embarrassed about it. So overcome that objection again. So basically what you're saying to them, explain proximity marketing, the big companies, how they use it, the fact that the word proximity suggests it's in the proximity, and explain to them exactly how it works. And if there's any of you don't know on this call, just very briefly, it's corporate companies that have spend maybe 100,000 developing an app, then they have to market the app to their customers, get the customers to download it. And say, for instance, the customers are in Walmart, they're walking around, and there's a buy two, get one free in the next aisle. They will get a message, okay, not a notification, a message on their phone because they've opted in, they have downloaded the app that says if you turn right here and go down 2 aisles, you can buy two, get one free, okay? That's why it's called proximity marketing. Very expensive, and small businesses couldn't afford that. So that's why. But again, it's good to tell them. So what I like to say, and I'll refer to closing the sale, work with them to create ideas within their business. So for instance, if you were talking to a hairdresser, okay, maybe she has enough customers. So what she does is while they're sitting there bored, while their hair's drying, upsell. So she gets notification that says, if you buy 2 bottles of Wella shampoo, you get the third one free, or whatever it may, whatever product it may be. Or they might say, next Wednesday, we are doing a free facial, or whatever. So you understand what I'm trying to say here. So try and be creative. And even if you, before you go into a business, I suggest that people go onto that business website, have a look at it, compliment them on their website when you go in. Say, listen, by the way, lovely website you have, and I see you're open late on Saturdays. And yet, this could be something you can let your customers know while they're during the week when they're coming in here. So you can create the information just from looking at their website to give that customer ideas, and that's saying, oh yeah, I like that idea. And then the fact of the matter is costing them less than $1 a day. Okay, following up, it's extremely important. So it's not just about giving them the gems and then that's it. You don't hear from them, you don't go into them. No, you must follow up. It is extremely important because if you follow up, guess what happens? Here's what happens. Yeah, referrals. Okay, and if you have done a good job with them, you've created ideas, you've planted seeds in their mind of how they can reach or get a notification out to their customers that's actually coming in to their place of business. Yeah. So once you've done that, you can then ask for referrals. Now, it's very important that you know how to ask for referrals, because this is the wrong way. You cannot say to somebody, can you tell me who else do you know would be interested in this? You are asking somebody to make a decision for another person. How would you know if somebody is interested or not interested? But let's rephrase it. Okay, you can see the benefits this has for your business. Who else do you know would benefit from this? So it's that positive words that benefit from this. And they will have no problem, especially if you have helped them, gave them ideas, worked with them, went back to them. That's the time to get your referrals. Now, the importance of using referrals correctly is imperative also, because if I get a referral from Ted and he's running a shoe shop and he's delighted with what I've done, right? When I walk into a Mary down the street and I say, listen, Mary, I was up with Ted there in the shoe shop. He's absolutely delighted what the gems have done for his business. And he said, it will benefit your business. Okay, positive words again, and a complete different approach, as you can see. And these are the little things that will help us to get the gyms out there, I just, on something else as well, I have recently worked with the Chamber of Commerce who's taken this on board, Jim's on board, and I've suggested to them, in order for to do this and be effective, that we have to have signage up on the entrance to the town at all angles, but more so, we need signage for each individual business. So that's something you should consider as well when talking to a customer, saying, listen, and there's no problem. I can design them, I can put one up on Facebook that you can say, well, listen, I can actually provide you with the artwork, and you can just go and create a little poster for your window that says, don't forget to check your Android notifications, terms and conditions underneath. Make sure you have your Bluetooth on and your location. So for a Chamber of Commerce, this will bring new people into town because they're going to get promotions all day long. Yeah. And it'll also get them new members because now the Chamber is doing something very valuable for them. So I just hope that helps in some way, folks. Again, just go through this at your own time, listen back to it, take notes on it, and of course, pop over to our page and make sure you do at Royaltie Private, the Royaltie Private Group, okay? Now, this is the compensation summary. Again, for those people, it's two levels. It's just you, it's your personals, and their personals. That's it. So just, again, you can review this in your own time. If you haven't looked at it before, I'm not going to go into it in detail, but you can see now it's monthly subscription revenue that you're actually getting paid on. You can see the payments. And I do believe that with a little bit of effort, there is nothing to prevent us from getting up there, and should be. We should be all reaching there to get up, at least get up to the $3,000 a week or a month. Whatever is your goals, set it and achieve it, and make them realistic goals. Don't there's no point in saying, yeah, I want to earn 11 grand in 2 months, unless you're prepared to work night and day at it. So just again, take a look at this at your own time. Of course, to finish on, which is fantastic, and when Justin's webinar there the other night, he has now announced for July, okay, for July, every 10 customers you get, you used to get $250, you're now going to get $350. You're getting an additional $100, okay? Also, then for the each time you get 10 customers, a ballot goes into a box or a drum. So if you have 50 customers, you get 5 ballots. At the end of the month, one will be picked out. One lucky winner will win $1,000, okay? Then there's 3 additional prizes for the top 3 producers. For the most sales at the end of June, I think it'll be pulled, or sorry, July, on the 1st of August. So 3rd place will receive a Samsung Galaxy A3 notepad. I think it's about $600 worth. And then in 2nd place, we'll receive a Samsung Galaxy S8, which is a mobile phone. I think $850, $900 is the value. But in top prize, when a 6-night, 7-day cruise, okay, for 2 people from any port in the world. You decide which one if you win this. So fantastic, and I think we just got to roll our sleeves up and go for it, folks. That's it. So without further ado, I'm going to close out. I will be posting this onto our Facebook group, Royaltie Private Group, and of course you feel free to share. Okay, so that's all I have to say for now. Over and out. Let's do business. Thank every single one of you for being on this training tonight, and hopefully you can take something from it. So this is Dave saying thank you very much, and speak to you soon.